What the heck? We're in Benton, Arkansas. We got the white sparkle. So do you offer short-term financing and payment plans if I wanted to get that? This is gonna be the most money we've ever spent on a collection.
I think I'm sitting around $55,000 to $60,000 realistically.
We're gonna see a collection in Tennessee that we've been waiting to see for almost 5 months. We connected with Rick back in December and started the conversation about this collection. It's everything from vintage to mid-90s stuff that we love, to Brady's and Judges, everything that we can't wait to show you and hopefully get a deal done. We're gonna try to buy everything. And so we made a point to come out here this month to meet Rick in Tennessee. I know pawn shops are trying to get into the sports card game. We have in fact sold sports cards to pawn shops, so you never know. Give pawn shops a call and we'll see what they got.
Nicole, can I help you?
Hey Nicole, how's it going? Do you guys happen to sell sports cards?
We have very few.
You think it's worth coming in for, or is it stuff that's not that good?
I mean, I don't.
Hello, this is Eddie's.
Hey, what's going on? Are you you guys are a physical sports card shop, right? You guys sell singles and stuff?
Yes, we are.
Is it mostly a football collecting community? Do you have more football than other sports?
We sell a predominant amount of football, and then it's pretty closely followed by baseball.
Okay.
Basketball, we do not. It's our least of the big three.
Okay.
For sure, which is weird to me because I'm actually a big basketball fan myself.
Yeah. Yeah, heck yeah. How late you open? We're about an hour away.
We'll be open until 7 p.m.
Perfect. All right, we'll swing in.
All right, man. Looking forward to seeing them.
All right, thanks, brother. Appreciate it. Talk to you soon.
Thank you.
That is how you take a phone call to Sports Card Shop. Tell me everything you got. Something's gonna stick. I'm gonna go see the guy. Okay, so we just got here in Benton, Arkansas. Sweet little town. I mean, crazy cool artwork. I need to find a coffee for one. We've been in the car for 4 hours. But we're gonna pop into Zeddy's. That's a unique card name. Looks like they're on the second floor. And go see what this card shop's all about.
How y'all doing today?
I called one of you on the way here. I don't know who it was I spoke. Was it you?
Be me, yeah.
I'm Ty.
Hi, I'm Ben. Nice to meet you.
This is Zeddy's, huh?
Yes, sir.
This is cool. This is the first time I've taken an elevator up to a card shop.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a unique experience here at Zeddy.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Are you the owner, the founder?
I'm one of the owners, yes. There's three of us, Aaron and Michael here, my partners here. We worked together here, established Zeddy's last year, early last year. Opened up our shop, and here we are.
Well, we're just passing through. We're going to see a collection. We're big NBA guys. He's a Luka guy. I'm a Michael Porter guy. I don't know how the Benton market is. Is NBA a thing around here?
It is. It is.
Okay.
It is. You know.
Is this all like shop stuff, or do you have vendors that host here? It's all yours.
All shop stuff.
Oh, cool. Okay.
We advertise buying collections. We're always buying.
Okay. You found some Doncic or Porter?
Oh, we found some Luka, but no Porter. Let's see.
shoot.
We can
Okay.
roll through some of this stuff, or however.
Is this stuff that you've pulled or you've bought from?
Most of this we bought over time. Yeah, that's a monster.
Holy crap! What the heck?
You don't see that every day. There's
We're in Benton, Arkansas. We got the white sparkle. Okay, you got to tell me the story of this. Or is there a story to it?
Oh yeah, there's definitely a story to that one. That's one that we picked up a couple of years ago. One of our friends pulled it. He actually won the pack in a Raz, and so he had the card sitting around for a little while, and he wanted to get out of some stuff one day, so he hollered at us, and we went over, grabbed it. It's gone on a roller coaster ride since then. As we all know, COVID spiked the cards a little bit, and he was one of the big guys that exploded. So that card's had some high offers, and
you got some
a
goodies.
little thing for Luka.
Yeah. So the white sparkles, I'm trying to remember, were there 20 of those made?
20. Yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm. That's crazy. Do you know what the pop is on a PSA 10?
It was 12 last I checked.
Really?
So, mm-hmm. Yep. And since they all get popped right away, they're pretty much in as good a condition as they're going to be right then. So
Yeah.
that number probably won't fluctuate
gonna
much.
move.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's not a lot of that product left to open. Has this been a six-figure card at one point?
it has been. We were offered 125 in Dallas. And yeah, if I could go back, if we could go back, we might take it. But you know, it was a lot of trade and stuff, so it's, you know, it's whatever. This is one awesome card and an awesome story, so we'll ride it out
Heck
for a
yeah,
little
man.
longer.
So do you offer short-term financing and payment plans if I wanted to get that from Matt?
We can work something out.
So as we're sitting here, your guys are bringing out more stuff.
Oh yeah, you should
You're
check
just
this out.
impressing us. What the heck are we looking at now?
So we bought a Nolan Ryan collection. I guess it was probably about 8 months ago, and he's got some 101s over there and some really cool like patch autos. But this was actually just the slab collection that was with it. We've left all of it intact for now because it's just PSA 10s. They're easy, you know.
Was this a local guy? Or was this somebody like you at a show?
It actually was a local guy. It sure was. And it actually sat for 9 years and didn't get touched through the peak of everything, and got found, from what I understand, about a month before we picked it up.
This is all 10s. Just not noticing that. Every single one's a 10. Are you guys Nolan Ryan collectors?
We are now.
This is a 2001 Passing the Torch. These are sweet. Pedro, Nolan, dual auto. Nolan, George Brett, Johnny Bench, Carlton Fisk, Mike Schmidt, Tom Seaver. That's 6 autos. Quads 4. What's the term for 6?
6 tuplet.
6 tuplet auto. This entire box is full of low-numbered Lotto 101 Nolan Ryan autos and crazy relics. Insane relics.
Yes, sir.
And I only want one of them out of here. Look how sweet that is. All right, so what's going on here real quick? Is this are these packed?
Well, so yes, it is. So this is our repack product.
Okay.
We have a $100 and we have a $40,
Okay.
and these are the big redemptions. You can kind of see. I mean, we have 4 cards here that are over $1,000.
Wow.
The one pulling up the rear is a Giannis rookie, which is red back, which is even like a shorter print. Up here covered up, we have an Nolan Ryan auto in there. Go figure, right? And we also throw a box of wax. So if you pull one of these $100 pulls, you're guaranteed a PSA 10 or something worth more than $100.
Okay.
And it's been very popular, very good product for us. I mean, it's really been our best seller. It's been kind of neat.
No kidding.
Yeah. And then same thing over here on the 40. And we just try to get, you know, everybody's pockets are different. You just try to
Absolutely.
get that spot. I mean, there's a Otani auto, there's a Bichette auto, there's a Jalen Hurts, whatever that
Neon
is, Green Pulsar.
Yeah.
You get a limited hobby box you can win for a $40 pull. That's pretty nice.
Okay. How do people buy these if they're not local? Online?
Man, actually, yeah, we'll buy them, we'll ship them to you. These cards obviously come as redemptions.
Yeah, right.
You'll actually hit one of our gift cards with the serial number on it that matches these numbers. So that's how we make sure nobody cheats us. But yeah, we'll ship
There
them
you go.
to you. We'll open them live, whatever they want us to do.
All right, so I want to snag a couple of these.
All right,
I think I'm going to buy 3.
Perfect.
I don't think I've ever purchased a repack product in my life.
Well, good. Glad we
So
can break you in. So the deal is you pick whatever, pull it out from wherever you want. If it falls, that's part of the game.
I'm not going to have you pick up stuff, but this is kind of fun. It's like a Jenga game, right?
That's right.
This is the moment of truth for you, Michael.
I'm excited. I'm nervous.
Okay, so $300 in repacks, which I will pay for, by the way. Woo! Steph Curry lime green PSA 10. Then we're at a 175.
Not bad.
That's pretty sweet.
Not bad.
Okay. All right, card number 2. Oh, Randy Rosarina. Okay.
Not terrible.
Not terrible.
It is a loss.
It is a loss. We'll go 1 for 2.
All right.
Just a Nolan Ryan 2 of 5 autograph.
Yeah, that's a win. That's a definite
This
win.
is officially the only product I will ever recommend. Stop it. Look at that's a monster card. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow. That's amazing.
I told you, man.
This is one of the cooler cards that Nolan Ryan 2 of 5.
That was-
Well done. You better be jumping on right now and buying these repacks. That's all I gotta say.
And we just like to help people. I mean, honestly, we like to help them take care of their cards, learn how to keep the value in them. I mean, it costs a lot of money to collect these things, and we just try to help them take care of them. We try to teach the kids as soon as they open them, and we feel like it pays off. We feel like they appreciate it and they come back.
I'm glad we stopped in.
I'm glad y'all did too.
I'm glad we stopped in. Man, that was cool. This is why we stop at shops, man, because you never know who you're gonna meet. Just a great crew of guys, a unique shop here in Benton, Arkansas. We spent $600, opened some repacks, I bought a sweet Nolan Ryan George Brett, and now we're taking an elevator back down to our car. We still have a lot of traveling to do though, so we gotta get going quick. I'm just glad there's still daylight. We lost track of time and we're realizing we have 4 more hours to Rick's house. And I gotta reassess here because I had a number in mind for the whole collection, and he sent me some stuff recently that is blowing my mind.
We're gonna have a very tough decision to make because over the last day and a half, Ricky's been getting us excited about the collection by sending us more pictures, and I think it's gonna fall outside of our budget. We came into this thinking $20,000 to $25,000, but I wouldn't be surprised if he wants somewhere between $35,000 and $40,000, which will push the boundaries of our budget.
I'm gonna have to come up with some more money on this, I think. I think I assessed this thing too low.
Well, that's a good problem to have.
This is gonna be the most money we've ever spent on a collection. I need to know that some of this stuff is already sold because I don't wanna get caught with a bunch of stuff in my inventory that I'm not knowledgeable about. Okay, we all know Marcel is one of the most loved characters on the show, but did you also know he has one of the most loved online shops in the marketplace? Yes, theawesomecardshop.com is an amazing place to go buy sealed wax, crazy singles, and some outstanding memorabilia, and a lot of that stuff came from the show. If you click the link in the show notes, you're gonna get a 5% discount off the already cheap prices, and if you do it right now, Marcel and team's probably gonna toss something extra in there as well. Just don't tell him I said that. Go click the link in the show notes right now. See ya.
Nice to meet you, Ty.
Good to
Nice
meet you. How are
meet
you?
man. Pretty good, man. Pretty
It's
good.
beautiful out here.
This is actually a mountain. It's actually the highest point in Carroll County. It's about 650 foot. It's Clark Mountain. So the house is sitting on a mountain. We did not know that when we bought it.
cool.
So, but yeah, the collection's in here, and
Let's do it.
let's come look at it. I got everything kind of organized for you guys.
Okay.
This is a big collecting area. We have shows in Nashville and Memphis, and usually when there's small collections or whatever resellers, they don't last very long. So,
Wow.
Yep.
Well, cool. I'm excited to dig in. So once again, we are hundreds of miles from any big city, driving up into the driveway, pulling in and opening the door and seeing a crazy collection. I just love these moments because you're like, wait, no way this collection's here. And then you walk in and you're surprised.
All right, so this is just some cards that I've had over the years that, you know, you get and you have some kind of sentimental value to it.
Yeah.
And there is some higher dollar value cards here, but I put some of the better Brady's, the better vintage, the Jordans, just some obscure cards that you don't see every day. You know, this is the stuff that I think belongs in a safe somewhat or needs to be graded.
Wow, okay. So tell me then your collecting story, because we kind of briefly spoke on the phone and you're wanting to kind of jump out of everything, right? Is that your mentality now?
Yeah, you know, I've enjoyed it, and I'm not saying that I would never get back into collecting. My son's 3 years old, but you know, I've been collecting since the early 90s. When I got married in 06, I guess we found out we were pregnant with our first child in 06. And you know how it is, you get stressed, and I was on my way to work one day, I had a few minutes, had a few dollars, stopped at a garage sale, and the guy happened to have cards. So I was doing a little bit of retail therapy, I guess, and he had a box of 96, 97 finest sitting out. And ended up having like a Kobe, a couple Ray Allen rookies, Steve Nash rookies.
Oh my goodness.
And this, you know, and I asked him, I said, how much you want for the box of cards? And he's like, $5. So I get home, I start looking them up, and this is it right here. So
16 years later.
16, yes.
That is hilarious. Well, why would you sell then? I mean, there's sentimental value there. Is there a reason you just want to kind of wash your hands of it? Tell me more about that.
Well, I've had fun. I've definitely had fun. It's not really that, I don't enjoy it anymore. I think we want to reallocate our investments, if that makes sense. So we bought this house in 2016. It was a foreclosure. We put $15,000 to $20,000 in the house, and the home is paid off, but we have a few things that we want to get done on it.
Okay.
So we want to look at buying some more land. So it's not so much that I'm just tired of it.
Yeah.
It's more or less I like to reallocate the investment.
At the end of the day, you got a family. That you can't. If you can exchange this for siding and remodeling,
right?
That's a good exchange when it comes to kids.
Hey, and it's all about their family. I mean, making your family happy. So, I love this stuff. Actually bought Brady early on and don't have a ton of money into it, just like the MJs.
Yeah.
Like a lot of stuff that I've had for years and it's not doing me any good now. I mean, might as well pass it on to the next person or collector or whoever.
Yeah.
So.
Man, I totally dig his story. I dig what he stands for. He's representing everything right about the way you should collect. And he's got a need, right? He's got a situation where he needs to provide for his family. He doesn't want to go into debt to continue to build on his house, and he wants to provide for his family that way. I love that. I love being able to come up with a number that helps him and knowing that we're going to just push his family forward, and he's using this collecting to fund that. It's such a neat thing.
Yeah, this is just stuff that, I would find good deals on. There'd be fire sales. Yeah, that one's a 2.5. I think I paid $50 for that.
There you go.
So I'd find deals, and you had to start respecting Brady. So what I do is, if somebody had a Facebook Live sale or you find a good deal at a show or something, I'd buy it. I started buying Brady probably 2015, 2014 when he was kind of in his lull, and people were starting to question, is Brady done? I bought it at the right time, number 25.
These cards, I can tell.
Yes. I've had them for a long time, and, some of them are in great shape, but, that's kind of how it is. I mean, I buy them from different collectors.
So immediately I am just blown away because the stacks of Brady's that he has, I mean, everything is either color or prism or refractor or rookie. And there's 2 large stacks of them. The pictures didn't do those justice at all.
That was one of the cars that I bought in the fire sale, and he just started selling them for $2 or $3 a piece. Jersey cars for $4 or $5.
Oh my goodness!
So I was able to get a lot, but there was a lot that I wasn't able to snag because people were just grabbing them quick because they were so cheap. So a lot of these are going to be, kind of
silvers and refractors.
Yes, I have every Prism silver except for the 12 first year.
Wow.
So I would buy the silver every year, and that was the 18 was up. So I got on eBay a couple weeks after the product was, maybe 3 or 4 weeks after the product was released, and there was a PSA 10 of that card on there, and it was $120. Buy it now. And I thought about it for a couple days, and back then the market was kind of iffy, and I was like, it's a little bit higher than what I want to, but it's a PSA 10. So pull the trigger on it. Fast forward to 2020, end of 2020, the market was booming. Put the card on Instagram, the PSA 10 on Instagram, just kind of showing it off on Instagram, and like within a few minutes had a guy hit me up. The pop was like 11 or 12 at the time.
No.
Because those that
Tucker
year,
is so off center.
Right, yeah. Right. So the guy's like from Florida. He said, I'm going to fly to Nashville, and you just give me a price. He said, just name your price. So I started thinking about it and asked my wife, and she's like, oh my God, what kind of price are we talking? $1,000, $2,000? And I threw a number at him. I said, I was like, I would probably want about $8,000. And I was throwing high. I went high because I just knew he was gonna come back like, 5. He said, yeah, I could swing that. I could swing that. When could you drive up? So I drove 2 hours to Nashville. He ended up buying another Brady or 2, ungraded. And he gave me the $8,000 cash, and because I was scared, I was terrified because I was like, "That's the first time I've never went to an airport to meet someone to sell a card." So the deal went great. He gave me a bag of cash. I walked out of the airport. Customs was cool. So and he got his cards and he left. He shook my hand, and he was a really nice guy. And he is a massive Brady collector, and he would love to buy these, but I've always told him I didn't want to sell anymore. So, but with the $8,000, I went and bought a raw copy for $800. So
The big boy.
yeah.
So why didn't you grade this?
It looks a little off-center,
Yeah.
right to left, so it's probably gonna be a 9 at the best.
The best.
Maybe
yeah.
an 8.
Still, yeah. It's
But the corners are clean, no scratching, so just a little off-center. And at the time, grading was just outrageous. It was like $7,500 a card. So
yeah. This is definitely one of the cards with they'll charge you.
yes. Yeah.
That's still amazing.
I think I've got $250 in that one. I bought that one right before the Super Bowl. They played the Eagles. So
Really?
I think the guy was trying to dump because he was, one of those people are like, oh, Brady's gonna have this, but paid $250 for that one.
We got Brady's, and then I see Mantle staring at me. We got vintage. I mean, so you had everything.
Yes, the iconic Darth Vader. Yeah,
Man.
not worth a lot, but just a cool
It's just
card.
a great card.
Yeah, just cool.
So what's the story with you getting into vintage? Just over time, just acquiring things?
So that's about 2007, 2008. Still really young, getting back into collecting. I got my hair cut at a barbershop a few minutes from here, and I walk in, and the guy's got like cards. They look like a card shop, and I was like, "What is going on here? Am I in the right place?" He's like, "Yeah, my son, he's getting out of collecting, and he just doesn't want this stuff anymore. So he said, can I bring it to your shop and just sell it?" Well, I'm sitting there getting my hair cut, and I happened to look up, and he had a couple Mickey Mantles just thumbtacked to the side of his booth, and they were trimmed, but they were so cool because I'd never seen an authentic Mickey Mantle. It was a 58 and maybe a 57, and I said, "Dude, can I see those?" And he's like, so every time I went in there after that, I would just ask about the mantles. I was like, how much would he want from all the mantles not for sale? He'll sell you all this. So that's how I got into vintage. I became so addicted to wanting those mantles, and I think I finally bought them. I paid $100 for both of them. So ended up buying the entire collection, everything you had on the showroom floor. There was like a complete 93 SP, upper deck with the Jeter, a bunch of unopened wax. So definitely had a lot. I think I paid $800 for everything.
Connie Macs are awesome.
You don't see those.
You don't see those very often. I love the 48 Magic.
Yeah, you don't see those a lot. I forgot a few of those. You're gonna see some stuff you just don't see every day, like the 36 fine pin DiMaggio. That's a spring training card. A lot of people don't realize. Look what number he's wearing. So that's the only card you'll ever see that he's wearing. And of course, it's a 1.
Yeah.
But that is a rookie card. It's a true rookie card, and he's got that wearing number 18. So it's starting to pick up a little bit, but
Yeah.
I worked hard for this. I never put my family always ate. The bills always got paid. Rent came due, got paid.
Yeah.
But I did spend a lot of money, and but like I said, it didn't affect my family.
Yeah.
But yes, most definitely. Once I got in, I was in.
Hey, quick note. Did you know that the sleeve of choice for chasing cardboard is Smooth Sleeves? We trust them with vintage, with modern, with high dollar, with low dollar, you name it. We trust Smooth Sleeves for all of our cards. Go check them out right now in the link in the upper right-hand corner and get 20% off any order you place with them. It's well worth your time. Smooth Sleeves for the win.
Let's get back to the show.
So as I'm going through these, I'm noticing how good of condition some of these are in. Like, these are in really good condition.
Yes.
What's the story here?
A few years ago, it was maybe 2018, 2019, believe it or not, my mother-in-law kind of pointed me to a local, person around the neighborhood that was trying to sell some old cards they had found in a abandoned home, believe it or not. And my wife was like, "Really, Mom? You're gonna tell him, give him a run?" But I went and looked at the collection. It was, older woman, and she said that her and her husband, her late husband, had, went through abandoned houses and had found a few boxes of cards. And she said she didn't know how much they were worth, but she wanted $1,000 for all of it. So started digging through it, and immediately saw those cards in binders.
Oh man.
And I was worried, but a lot of them looked good. They looked really clean. It looked like somebody took them and put them in like a cigar box and just forgot about them.
Yeah.
Had like 2 Ernie Banks. I kept the Ernie Banks in better condition. Had the the Jackie Robinsons, the Clementes, the Ted Williams.
Oh my, the 1956 Topps cards look absolutely awesome. What do you think these cards grade as? We send off the Jackie Robinson, the Hank Aaron, and the Roberto Clemente. Let us know in the comments below, and hang on until the end, and we'll let you know what they came back as.
I mean, and they looked really good. So I sold the ones that I thought that I could, that weren't in great condition, and I made my money back, and I kept the ones that I thought I was going to eventually get graded. So I pretty much essentially got those for free. So
Wow. Mid 50s in this condition. I'm really hoping they're not trimmed because they look so perfect.
My first inclination when I see something this good is I hope it's not trimmed.
right.
Like you don't know, right? You don't know the history of it, but it's like you want to almost measure it.
She seemed really authentic, and they were in boxes. She said, she's like, I ain't gonna lie, my husband, before he passed, he put them in binders, the ones he thought were good. And there was this Common sitting binders, and there was Ernie Banks rookie sitting in a box. So I don't think he really knew. And there was a couple Hank Aaron's in there, and there's a few of those. But, I saved the ones that I thought, I looked at them like you, and I eyeballed them. I was like, dude.
Right? You're like, you can't get your $1,000 out fast enough.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, I think I could do 1,000. And that's when the market was still, before the boom. So I paid $1,000 and, got those, sold the other ones and kept those. So,
man, that's so cool.
And the Gaudis actually have a story about the Gaudis. And there's some 33s in there. That's the ones in better condition. My buddy knew I was a car collector. And he was like, he would do the real estate auctions from someone's house. And I've never been into that. And he just kept telling me, dude, can you come? Well, one Sunday, he calls me. He's like, dude, come to a sale with me. They've got sports stuff. They're advertising they got sports stuff. So I get in the truck, I go up there, and I do not see any sports stuff. I'm like, dude. He's like, they had said there was on there. So I was just kind of looking through.
Yeah.
And I looked at this box, and it had like pictures on top, and it had some boxes. So I kind of sift through it. I'm like, you just don't ever know. And I saw like some binder pages, and they were like old, crusty 1980s, that stick together.
Oh yeah.
And
basically yellow.
Yes, and there they were. They were right there in the binder pages, and I was pulling them apart, and I didn't know I didn't know anything about Gaudi.
Yeah.
I knew Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig, but that was the extent of it. So I was like, I don't see those names, but I'm gonna take them up here and see what they want. It was $200 for the box. And I didn't want the box. It was pictures and postcards, and I was like, I just don't want the box. So I went and asked. And the lady said, well, it's half off Sunday, so it'd be $100 if you just give me $50. You can have the baseball cards. So I gave her $50, and I walked out with a stack, of just old binder pages, and I was like, I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to get them out of these pages. But went home, and they all came out of the binder. It all worked out, and I listened to the leads, and I've always been respectful to people when I went and bought, because those same people that you show respect to and don't lowball
100%
may call you and say, hey, someone's wanting to sell.
Yeah.
So this is a story of just not giving up. When you're into the hobby, you're trying to build a collection, ask questions, try to build relationships. You never know where those leads will take you. He got connected to an estate sale from an older lady and ended up basically creating this desire to get more into collecting, and I think that's a story that resonates with a lot of people. Don't give up. Go ask questions and see where the next lead takes you.
Okay, so what's happening here?
Okay, so this is they came out with this product. This is the bar. They came out with the product a couple years ago, American Greats, and actually I have the one-of-one Muhammad Ali cut come out of there, and the Johnny Bench. So this essentially is a authentic relic piece, maybe from a document or whatnot, that the people wrote on or signed.
Okay.
And this one is specifically a rare piece because it's actually George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, and Thomas Jefferson. So the ones I've all seen are from their wives. And I think they're selling for about $150. So I don't know how much this is worth. I know in the last year they've had them on there for like $1,200.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this is actual authentic pieces relic from all three of the presidents.
Man, that's cool.
So just a cool piece. I don't know about the value.
Unique.
Just right.
That's just unique stuff.
Yeah, and that's what I went for, is just anything obscure, just cool.
Yeah.
So
I'm so surprised by the variety of autos. I mean, we're talking Muhammad Ali 1-of-1, we got the Johnny Bench 1-of-1, we got multiple Dwayne Johnsons, and now we're seeing, cut relic pieces from, presidents. The variety here, I think, is probably what's piquing my interest most, because it's me diving into the unknown and figuring out how I can extract the most value out of this.
It's a random Ty Cobb piece of paper.
And you don't, the reason you don't know if it's real or not. You buy stuff like that in collections, and if I walked up, he did sign in green ink. I've had people tell me it can't be real, and I've had people tell me that it looks legit. So
All right, that's something I might ask Mike about.
yeah, you never, I don't know, but
Yeah.
it's just a collection piece, and I've had it sitting around and just threw it in a box.
Yeah.
So
I cut you off. Sorry. Why haven't you sold this stuff? Because you mentioned to me that you haven't put it up for sale.
yeah, so I have sold some here and there. We were needing a new vehicle, and I had acquired the entire Mickey Mantle Topps Bowman run, except for the 52 Tops. So I had that sitting there, and I didn't want a car payment. So I asked my wife. I said, "How would you feel if I sold my Mickey Mantle collection and buy us a car?" But I ended up making 15 or 16 from the Mickey Mantle run, and no telling what it's worth now. I mean, I don't know what a PSA 251 Bowman's worth now. I wouldn't know.
9?
See, so
yeah.
So I sold my collection, the Mantle Run, to buy a car. So I went out and got practically a brand new Dodge Ram extended cab for our family. I've done sold a little bit, but I have to be pushed to sell.
There you go.
Yeah,
There's the drift.
that was one of my favorite pieces. Yeah, the autograph 89 Upper Deck.
This is hard to find.
Yes, so
Yes.
that, my last knowledge in SEC, it's a Pop 1. I think PSA's got one too. There's a PSA 10 floating out there as well.
They're just impossible to find
Yep.
in good condition.
So that is, and there's a few Clemente relics and bats in there. One's numbered to 100.
So whenever you're out buying collections of this size, this is what you want. You want raw, you want variety, because that's where your room is going to be. And he knows that. He knows that it's going to take time to do it. He doesn't want to put the work into it. He's already put the work into collecting, but he knows that a guy like me is going to take it and grade it and move it with those margins. It's a perfect situation.
You know, you would have the Upper Deck foil and the name and their jersey, I mean, their team would be in full on the front. So, and the only one I've seen like that is Dwight Howard. So it has no name, no team like the Cavs, and Upper Deck logo.
This is unique.
Yes.
I don't think I've seen this card.
Right. Try to find one. And Beckett grades them because they graded the Dwight Howard no full. Most of the issues with that set were the change in names, like the Von Wafer, Michael Jordan. I think LeBron has maybe with Ray Allen or Paul Pierce, their names are changed. That is the only one that the no full LeBron James I've ever seen, and I've searched up and down. So I didn't put a value on that card. I don't know what it's worth. I couldn't tell you. So
If you're watching this, what do you think that card is worth? 2009-10, right? 2009-10.
Steph Curry's rookie
no
year.
foil.
Yep, Steph Curry.
LeBron James. Man, that is cool. I am so excited about what this collection brings, but in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, am I going to be able to afford this? He's talking about the Brady that he sold for $8,000 and some of these other multiple thousands of dollars of cards. What is he really wanting for this? I can't wait to get to that point, but I'm very nervous.
My man cave, I guess.
Oh, shoot. Okay.
So yeah, I kind of just put some cool stuff. I got the Upper Deck. I think it's 92. I don't know the member name of it, but it's an Upper Deck authenticated Jordan statue. It's got the COA. Got some open wax. Since I'm a Judge Yankees fan, got the Heritage wax. The Topps Baseball Holiday. Here's the 18 update with Ohtani,
Yeah.
Soto. Got some mantle balls, Ford, a obscure, I think that's like a Saratoga Stars mantle. So that's pretty much that. It's autographed balls like Cepeda's up there, Ernie Banks, Eddie Murray, Leo Gomez. Just, there's an Arenado signed spring training ball in there.
Okay.
Just a little bit of everything.
Okay, so he said there's another room, and as I walk in, I'm thinking, oh shoot, there's a lot more than I expected here. First off, I don't know if I have enough room in the car, and second, what is this thing gonna be worth? I wasn't expecting that.
Like up here, just some packs. I think this is a lot of Kobe rookie year, so you got 96, 97 Flair basketball. Just, a lot of stuff I like the Showcase Wade Boggs to 99. So Winfield, that's the credentials, got a couple credential cards.
Man.
So just, there's 3 boxes of Eddie George. There's the Bonds. I've got about 400 Bonds rookies in that box. Here's the unopened. Not a lot of value in that, but how many times do you see
it's super
Bonds
cool.
sitting there on the front? Gotta have your starting lineup.
You don't have a starting lineup, it's not a collection.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's what's so bad is the card is worth more than anything in it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, just some cool stuff. I mean, just,
My goodness, so all full of cards.
yes. Now over here, you've got all this. This is Judge rookies and inserts and SPs. I got some really nice, Judge stuff. few Grady cards, cracked ice, purple refractors, just everything you can think, Judge. This is all Jeter. This 3-row box is King Griffey Jr. These 2 boxes are vintage. Got a lot of the tall boys. I think at one time I had 70-80% of the tall boy rookies. Gaudi's right here. So vintage. This whole 4-row box is Tom Brady, and inserts and stuff. And this 4-row is all Jordan.
In all of this,
Yes.
you're selling.
Yes. I'd just rather get rid of it in one lump sum, if that makes sense.
You don't want to think twice. You
No,
want to wash your hands.
Well, yeah, because if you think, the more you think about it, you're like, oh, I think I just keep it.
Yep. I'm just going to peek it for a second
Go
here.
ahead and grab whatever.
Just random colored.
No, colors, base, SPs. Appreciated Tom Brady. I got lucky that he won a few more Super Bowls there at the end. My goodness, some obscure stuff, some vintage. Yeah, you'll find some cool stuff. It was a Gaylord Perry. All sports, nothing's organized. So I love Griffey. Watching Griffey growing up. Just kind of every time I'd go somewhere, if I saw Griffey, I'd say, hey, how much you want? A lot of times it'd be a few bucks, and I did pay for some of them. I mean, obviously.
Wow. This is one of my favorite all-time cards.
Yes, that Planet Metal is just awesome.
The quantity of just tier 1 players, I hope I don't have to walk away from this. What do you think this is valued at? I mean, every time I pick up a card, you know what I'm looking at, so you know what you got.
Right. So, a couple years ago,
Okay.
this was a 6-figure collection a couple years ago. We know that things have changed.
Yeah.
And if you know anything about the market, it's just different. I've glanced over a few times,
Okay.
looked through boxes, not extensively, and I think I'm sitting around $55,000 to $60,000 market value.
Okay.
And I know realistically that I'm not going to get that.
Okay.
And I just don't have the resources. I don't have the social media platforms to get that done.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
You're set on selling it all, though. You just said that.
Yes.
You mean that. You want to get rid of all of it.
Yeah, because I just want to get the space, get it gone. It's bittersweet, but it's time to let it go. So I know you have to make money. I know you're a businessman. So with that being in mind, 55,000. I was thinking 30,000 would be like 60%.
Okay.
And that's pretty where I want to be. I've got to be at 30, to be honest with you.
Okay. Okay, so he threw out his number. $30,000 is what he wants for everything. And it's the most we've ever spent on an actual acquisition of a collection. What do you think? Is that a good deal based on what you've seen? Should we spend the $30,000 to get this collection? So $30,000 cash you would take for all of it.
I'd be at around $30,000 rock bottom.
Okay. Yeah. You've surprised me with the stuff that you've shown, because you've shown me a lot here that you did not send pictures of.
Right.
Which in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, I can't afford this.
Yeah.
I can't afford this. I think that's extremely fair, man.
Really? So $30,000?
I think 30K is extremely fair. Yeah. If you're comfortable with 30K, I would do 30K for you.
Hey.
This will be the most that we've spent ever for a collection.
Sounds like a deal, man. It sounds good to me, man.
I am so excited about this deal. I love that he had his number. He was convicted about it. He wasn't negotiate. You could tell, and that's okay. He knows what that's valued at. As I'm going through those rows of boxes, I immediately knew that everything in there was good to great stuff. Stuff that when we start grading and we start piecing it out, we're gonna make our money. It'll take the time, but I am so thrilled about this deal. So we are moving filling up this car. We're running out of space quick. Well, I really appreciate it. This was a fun trip, and I mean, we can't wait to dive into this collection.
Oh, dude.
All the work you put into it.
I think you'll have fun.
Yeah.
And I'll keep in touch with you guys, and hope you do well, man.
What's the last message you have for everyone watching this?
I would say that buy what you like, enjoy the hobby, make relationships, go hunting. The hunt's the whole fun, right?
Yeah.
And that's what I would say. Don't give up. Enjoy the hunt.
Love it.
So,
all right, brother.
Hey, man.
Thank you so much.
Thank y'all. Good.
All right.
Safe.
Remember those 1956 Topps cards? Yeah, well, SGC sent those back to us, and here's what they graded as. The Jackie Robinson number 30 came back as an SGC 4. The Hank Aaron number 31 came back as an SGC 4. And the 1956 Topps Roberto Clemente white back number 33 came back as an SGC 5.5. Absolutely stunning.
It's bittersweet because I know for the simple fact that this stuff, you won't find it anymore. So once it's gone, it's gone. But definitely worth the investment in time because we're going to put it back into our home, maybe reinvest in some land. So definitely bittersweet.
What a great trip. And once again, we find an amazing collection in unexpected places. Ultimately, all my anxiety over the cost of his collection was for nothing because Rick knew exactly what he needed to get for his cards, and he understood the value of not doing any of the months of work to sell them. The transaction was perfect for both of us, and for that, we are grateful. Keep chasing.